Went to a crappy flea market place near my house, and the guy had one of these air guns, and I looked at it, and I could tell that it was a top-of-the-line one, and he thought it was a cheap Chinese one. I gave him 20 bucks. It was almost brand new. Down on air, probably. I looked in the catalog, and it was a $300 air gun. I paid 20 bucks, almost brand new. He had no idea what it was. There's my starter bracket, just hanging there. Can't believe it after all that. We're going to take this injection pump cover off one more time. If anybody wants to know how to fix their optical sensor, you got to watch a lot of my video, but I'm doing it. Take off the intake cover for the turbo, and then you lift the cover up slightly. There's a wire attached, and you pop off the C-clip that holds the optical sensor from dropping through the cover. The C-clip, but we don't have quite the right snap ring pliers. These are on there pretty good. Yeah, well, better loose than tight. There's the snap ring. And you lift up the cover slightly. Don't yank the wire loose, and you push the optical sensor through the cover. Check the condition of your gasket. This gasket was kind of funky looking. We took off all the little pieces of the gasket. And there's the optical sensor. You move it out of the way slightly. Well, there's the wire that connects it to the bulkhead. You undo that T40 and you move it over slightly. And you check it on the computer. And keep doing it over and over and over until you get it right. Back home, man, these rotors will be paper thin, rusted on the inside, rusted on the outside. These are new hubs, new rotors, new shocks, and one new ball joint. I thought there was 4, but there was only 1.
Somebody's greased it recently.
Yeah, me yesterday at the junkyard. I asked the guy if I could use his grease. He says, I don't know where it is. I said, it's right on the tractor. I'm a fanatic. I like things to be greasy.
Yeah.
Now I can get to my bracket. What a pain.
And it just proliferates ignorance, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
see, back home I'd spray the whole back of the rim with white grease and stuff, but I'm not going to bother here because I'm going to take these wheels off when I get home, maybe put some snow tires on.
Yeah, they're not bad rims. They're obviously not stock.
I don't like them. These little triangular holes. I like the round holes. I put some on my green one when I was in Phoenix. It had brand new takeoffs from GM with the GM wheels with the ovals, the egg holes, but they're too narrow. So I took them off, sold them when I got home. Somebody wanted them on the way home, but I put on big wheels, big tires, 31-inch, cut the fenders. But I don't like these. I like the ones that I put on, actually. They look pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the I like these are aftermarket.
The GM wheels for 3/4 ton are skinny with no offset, and they're really skinny, so you can't put oversized tires because the rims are too narrow, and that's the way GM likes it. Half tons get wide wheels, 3/4 get skinny wheels.
Really?
I have no idea. It's just the stupidest thing. So on this truck that I drove last year, the tires were brand new, but they had been off the truck for years. They were huge cracks. Not huge. They had cracks. Good for city. I knew I was going to be towing a trailer home, so to buy new tires, might as well buy what I want. So I bought 285, 75, 65s. You got to trim the fender, the bumper, just like it's done here, because it rubs right there. This has been trimmed, not very nice. I would trim it a little bit straighter.
Yeah, the problem with running those tall tires, though, is then you got to be able to spin them when you're low on power. You know?
I don't care. And then the back here, you have to hammer it, just like that's been done. You just hammer it, but someone's busted that.
It looks like it was cut out almost.
Yeah, or someone busted and they cut the rest of it.
Wants to hit like this.
But with the tall tires, you also end up kind of screwing with the transmission because then you're always like, you're at too low of RPMs to lock the converter.
Never noticed. Not a problem.
Well, if you have 410 gears, it might be okay.
If I have 410s. But no, I'm not hunting. I'm not hunting, like you're saying. So I had to, and I have running boards on mine with little flares that come up.
It might not hunt, but it might not lock up the torque converter if you're below 1700 RPM. Because the torque converter stalls at about 1700 RPM.
That high? I thought it was lower in diesel.
Well, it's supposed to be between 1500 and 1700, and it usually ends up being about 1650, 1700 to get a good solid lock. And
I think missing one of the lugs. It's at the junkyard in the shifter boot from that 5.
There might be a reason because I don't.
No, it was a different size.
Oh yeah, because these won't go on there.
No. There was one lug, there was one nut here. When I bought the truck, it was a different size than those. So I took it off, and I went to the junkyard the next day, and they had the ones that I needed. And I didn't buy them. No, it's fine.
Trouble getting it to go on
that particular one. No, it had a stud. It had a nut on it. I just took it off because it was bugging me because it was a different size.
Yeah, there it goes. Good.
It was just bugging me. So I took it off and I went to the junkyard, found what they needed, but the guy wanted $20 for the bucket of bolts, the shifter boot of bolts. I left it there and didn't even make a video of it because I was so annoyed waiting for my buddy Billy to show up with a bumper that he didn't buy. And the truck was charged for a friggin' hour and a half. Just a bad day all around yesterday. So maybe I'll go to a pick apart and find my splash shield and my back bolt for my turbo right there. Yep, I'm gonna crank this baby up in a minute. It looks like it's doing something in there, but it's just stored. That's just plastic.
Yeah, it looks like you cut the wire.
Yeah. No, it's just something I found in the junkyard with a little thing that goes underneath the fuse. It was so convenient. I knew it when I found it. I knew when I found that thing it was just what I needed. I love the smell of unburned diesel in the morning.
Alright, now take the power off.
Yep, put it back up in there. I tried everything to get this thing to run right. So what is the problem after all this stuff? The optical sensor was misplaced from day one.
That is a problem. You know, even fixing that battery connection might have helped.
Well, I don't know, this thing was cranking pretty good. And actually the power comes from this battery.
Well, it does, but sometimes iffy battery terminals somehow cause computer problems.
Because I did clean this one up. That was already stripped when I bought
But
it.
it might be the computer. We'll try to put your computer back on after we fire this thing up and get
Alright.
it going right.
Let's get some glow plugs. Glow plugs. And fire the TurboWheezle up. Click. Crank her up. Amazing. Never had it start that fast. Yeah, amazing. And on the way home, I'm going to drive right by my body shop guy, 300 miles from my house. I haven't painted the top of it. No, I don't want a red Suburban. Not my idea of driving in style in a fire engine red Suburban. Good for the EMT guys. Your battery's still hanging out of this computer?
It's about 50%.
That's pretty good. Let me look over your shoulder and steal some information.
Well, we made it worse, apparently.
Wow. 20? 19?
Now it went back up. Let's see when it warms up what happens.
Because that's supposed to be at 8 millimeters cubed.
Well, it is. It's still a little bit cool, and you got some cold advance, and the idle's up a little bit. So let's see wait till it gets warm and see what it settles out at. So it's always good to make sure you check it when it's warm and find out what that value is.
That's really high. Could we have gone the wrong way?